My name is Cheryl Drohan, and I came to this parish through RCIA in 2008. And so Father asked me to share my story about how this parish brought me closer to the Lord and how I got here. So let me give you a little background real quick. I grew up with one Catholic parent, one Baptist parent. Neither of them practiced, and no one agreed on anything. So I had no formal, religious education. Until about middle school, we moved, and for whatever reason, they decided it was time for me to go to a private Lutheran school. Okay, so here I go. I show up one of the first days. They handed out little note cards to everybody, and every little index card had a book of the Bible. And everyone had to line up as fast as they could and put them in order. Okay, well, I just stood there. I had not a clue in the world. And someone had mercy on me and they moved me along. But that was really pivotal for me because all of a sudden I felt like an outsider and I didn't belong. And here's this, this church group, these church kids, and I'm not part of them and I don't understand. Okay, fast forward a little more. I marry my husband, Dennis, and I marry into a large, active Catholic family. So, again, I still feel a little bit outside, but it was actually really wonderful because every time the family got together, we always went to Mass together, and I was always invited, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I got something out of it. I always came away from something with a homily, but more than that, it was kind of magical how everyone showed up at the right time, at the right pew. It's kind of weird, but I liked it. But I had this sense of belonging, and every time we left, my mother-in-law would hug me and she'd say, thank you for coming. And I'm like, what? I don't belong here. Like, why are you glad I'm here? But things were starting to turn. Like, you're starting to mull things over. I jump forward a few more years. We're living in Miami. We go to Mass, and it was a rite of dismissal, but I hadn't a clue what was happening at the time. And so I see, all these people come up to the front and they have different clothes on, and Dennis like, it's okay, they're joining the church, just watch. Well, I thought it was like hazing or something. I'm like, here are these poor people. They don't belong to this church. They've called them by name. They've made them stand in front. They have different clothes on, and then they had them leave. Like, what is this? So now I'm like, oh no. So going back to feeling like an outsider, my wall just got taller. Like, yeah, I'd like to have, be part of what Dennis's family is, but I have to go and do that, and no, I don't think so. So a few more years go by. We moved to Oviedo. We have a young family. I get some new mommy friends. One of them is my neighbor. She's Catholic, so she hears these stories, and she starts, little bits, and she's like, well, don't you want your children to have what your husband's family had? You don't want them to have what you had. Okay, she's right. So some more time goes by. My firstborn was approaching kindergarten, and she says, now's the time, Cheryl. If you want to do this, he needs to go into faith formation. You need to start thinking about it. Oh, well, now it's time to make a decision. And I'm thinking, well, I really do want what Dennis's family had, and I want that for my children, I want that for myself, and I can't very well do that just to my children, like it's all or nothing kind of decision. So we talked about it, and with absolute terror, I called Donna and said, I think we need to talk about our CIA. So she came in. I came in and met with her, and we went forward. And that's where this parish made all the difference in so many ways. Not only was Donna very welcoming, and Cheryl, why are you so afraid? You don't have to prove yourself. This is a good event. But before I even went to my first RCIE meeting, there's a team member called, introduced themselves, told me what to expect, met me at the door at the first meeting, so it wasn't this sea of strange faces. The greeters, you have no idea when you're frightened and you feel like an outsider to have someone there smiling and welcoming you. And as you get further along and they actually know your name and they know you're a catechumen, oh, come on in, we're so glad you're here. So, then I started having friends, other mommy friends and other school friends, and seeing people in the community, and started really feeling more welcome, and not like I had to prove myself so much as, wow, they're kind of holding my hand and they're bringing me along. And it even went a step further, because while I was in the RCIA process, I was asked to share my journey with the Florida Catholics. So after every rite, they would, one of the reporters would call, and I, what struck me, what did I feel about it, and they'd write something up. Well, I started getting letters, or I'd have people approach me, and oh, I hadn't thought of that. It really meant that much to you, or, whatever the spin was. So now I was really starting to feel like, gosh, I kind of belong, like I have something to contribute. I'm not just one, the one that doesn't know when to kneel and when to, do whatever. So, so anyway, and then, it's gone a step further. So I got involved in different ministries. I am actually now able to be an RCIA sponsor, so I can try to give back. I went and had a complete career change and went into nursing so I could give back. So none of this would have happened without this parish and that kind of transformation. And I'll add a little bit with my children the other day. They were fighting, who knows about what, and I hear the little one say, you shouldn't do that. Jesus wouldn't like that. And I thought, that never, if that never would have happened. So anyway, thank you for hearing my story and thank you for being such a wonderful parish.